When Marie Antoinette, the 18th century French queen, was told that the country's peasants were starving, she allegedly said, "Let them eat cake." Let's pretend for a second she actually did say that. Well, at least she wanted them to have cake, even if that were not the most nutritious choice for starving people. Donald is nothing like Marie Antoinette because what Donald is actually saying to the American people is, let me eat cake. On Saturday, November 1st, roughly 42 million Americans lost access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. This vital service lost funding on that day because of the ongoing government shutdown and the Trump regime's unwillingness to tap into an almost $5 billion fund that could have helped continue make SNAP payments. On Friday, federal judges in Rhode Island and Massachusetts ordered the regime to use those emergency funds in order to keep SNAP running. It remains to be seen whether or not the Trump regime will comply. They so often do not. They have a tendency to ignore judicial rulings they don't like, contest them, find ways to drag out litigation, appeal, what have you. And of course, then there's that brilliant legal strategy of ignoring the judges entirely. But as NPR notes, quote, benefits will be delayed in November regardless of the outcome of the court cases because many beneficiaries have their cards recharged early in the month, and the process of loading cards can take a week or more in many states, unquote. So as tens of millions of Donald's constituents worry about how to feed themselves and their families, Donald finds ways, creative actually, to prove to those of us who apparently need more proof that he could not care less about the American people. For instance, with the shutdown stretching into its second month, you would have thought that Donald would have spent the weekend negotiating to reopen the government and avoid at least the terrible optics of letting children go hungry. Instead, he did this.
Over the weekend, President Trump grew criticism after throwing a great Gatsby-themed Halloween party at Mar-a-Lago, some calling it tone deaf, with 42 million Americans now going without food assistance. A White House spokesperson dismissed the critics, arguing, quote, these Democrats are full of it. Now, with just days to go until the government shutdown becomes the longest in history, President Trump pointing the finger at Democrats.
We voted 14 times to open the country. We have voted 14 times to open the country, and they vote to keep it closed. All they have to do is vote to open the country, and we only need 5 Democrats.
Yeah, he sounds good. Anyway, the Republicans are in control of every branch of government. They control the executive branch. They control both houses of Congress. All they need to do in order to get Democrats to cross over and help them reopen the government is make a deal that doesn't punish the American people further. They're not doing it. This is down to them. Once again, though, Donald does have his fingers on the pulse of what matters most to the American people. He took to his failing social media site and posted this, quote, I renovated the Lincoln bathroom in the White House. It was renovated in the 1940s in an Art Deco green tile style, which was totally inappropriate for the Lincoln era. I did it in black and white polished statuary marble. This was very appropriate for the time of Abraham Lincoln, and in fact, it could be the marble that was originally there, unquote. Minutes later, he posted again, saying, quote, the refurbished Lincoln bathroom in the White House, highly polished statuary marble, unquote. That looks like a nightmare out of some Halloween movie I haven't seen yet. My God. Was that the White House or was that Mar-a-Lago? Hard to say. It's just hard to say. All right. This is during a government shutdown with almost 42 million Americans worried about going hungry. By the way, 39% of SNAP recipients are children. So while this is all happening, it's a fair question. Who paid for this bathroom renovation? Well, according to the New York Times, yeah, Donald's not saying. Why would he? Because the answer would be damning, because the answer is almost certainly you and I paid for it. That's who. Before we go on, we have to fight for the American people who are being terrorized and impoverished by the Trump regime. So please like and share this video. And if you believe in our mission, please subscribe to the Mary Trump Media channel. Let's check in on another project that just epitomizes Donald's feelings towards Americans suffering during these very dark times for which he is entirely responsible. The White House Ballroom. As we know, weeks back, Donald demolished the east wing of the White House after lying and saying he wouldn't touch it to make room for construction of what was originally a $200 million ballroom, but now is a $350 million ballroom. People immediately wondered who was paying for this grotesquely obscene, the expensive project. He insisted that the ballroom was being funded by a combination of private donations, a lot of them from corporate entities, which I'm sure will expect nothing in return, and this is the tell, his own money. Bullshit. Donald promised to disclose the identities of those donors as a testament to his trustworthiness and how above board it all was. Here are comments from White House Press Secretary Everett Braun. Sorry, Caroline Leavitt, reinforcing Donald's own words.
The president's cost estimate has changed several times. I think it's up to $300 million now. Given the nature of all this, will the White House commit to releasing all of the donors and how much they're spending and how much of his own money the president is putting on the line to this?
We have released the full list of donors thus far. Perhaps there will be more people who want to generously contribute to this project. And the president, yes, has committed his own resources. And when he releases that information, which I'm very confident he will, you will all see that.
We'll see a dollar figure from the president?
Yes, he will. And I would also just add the president has been incredibly transparent. I would reject any notion otherwise when it comes to this ballroom project.
Oh, yes. He's known for his transparency and his honesty. We all know that. We don't need Ava Brown, damn it, Caroline Leavitt to tell us this, right? Yeah, well, they're lying. The New York Times reports that, quote, the White House withheld the identities of several donors to the project. A list released last month by the White House of more than 36 donors omitted donation amounts, as well as the names of several individuals and companies that collectively have billions of dollars riding on the outcome of administration policy decisions, unquote. Oh, can you say quid pro quo? Donald, I know it's Latin, but, you know, it's 3 monosyllabic words. I think even you could wrap your head around that. These are bribes. These are bribes being given to Donald for a project that he actually cares a great deal about. He certainly cares about it more than he cares about starving children in America. Bribes from cowards at already wealthy corporations in exchange for favorable policy decisions so they can continue making more money off of the American people's backs. It's that simple. It is that simple. And what we need to remember is this. Donald's not tone deaf. This is all intentional. This is a man who actually has his priorities straight and, for a change, is actually being honest about them. He cares about marble bathrooms, $350 million ballrooms, and hurting Americans. If this week has been any reminder that independent media is important now more than ever in America, this week would be it. If you would like to help, please like and share this video with your friends and your enemies. That would be fun for all of us. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks.